Hello, so I don't even know if I should make a video or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So, I've had a shave, like that. Didn't take the time off. Think things are still fucking pretty bullshit, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. I think some of it stems from, like, I don't know. I don't know, smoking weed and getting involved in all that sort of shit. But I've got a prescription now, and to be fair, it shouldn't have ever been an issue anyway. But long story short, I was set up by one of my mates, or who I thought was a mate, but he was actually like in the circle of friends that my ex was in, which is weird. But he set me up with this girl, Amber. I won't use the second name because if I'm going to post this, but anyway. He set me up with her. Nothing happened, just platonic. We met like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. Like, we talked about some things. Like, we didn't have a lot in common, to be honest. I mean, she watched the program. I can't even remember what it was, but I started watching it just to have something to talk about with her. All my mates ripped it out of me. It was some Golden Girls thing. It wasn't really my cup of tea, but it gave me something to talk to her about, so I thought, yeah, it's fine, but yeah, they all ripped it. Anyway, I digress. Long story short, she left like weed in my car. I had to drop it off to her to sit and smoke. And as I dropped it off, this lady was there with this short haircut. Oh, hang on, we got a dog here. Look, we get it in the background. Look. Hello, alright. It charged on me like earlier as well, and it's doing the same again. Its recall's fine, but yeah. Anyway, so she left a bag of weed in the car. Her bag of weed. I dropped it around, and then there's this lady there with short hair, and it was Cat Doherty, 100%. I didn't even recall it till the other day. This is a haircut. You ain't changed your hair in that many years, okay? So she's obviously known to Amber or whatever. Looking back now, I kind of think maybe it was a setup, but I don't know. So Cat sat and smoked weed with us, but it wasn't until like the Zoom call that I had with her that I recognised her. And all this time it was playing on my mind. I was thinking, where do I know her from? And it turns out that was her. So, and I mean, Russell's into gear, like copious amounts. He was actually kidnapped over a coke debt. It was stuffed in the back of a van. Yeah, it's fucking. That's why I didn't ever get involved in all that shit. Like, it's not me at all. Like, yeah, I smoke weed, but that other shit. But he just strikes me as so odd. And then obviously, given the fact that if she's the one that's in charge of the case, and I don't know what's going on about any of it, to be honest. All I fucking know is that there was break-ins at my flat, my dog's traumatised, I can believe that my dog's been hurt in a pretty bad way. The most horrific way you could imagine, I would hate to think. But a lot of it, I'm it's worst case scenario thinking. So it could be pretty fucking bad. So either way, that's been completely covered up, and I've been like properly shafted hard, like at every opportunity. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of stuff going on around my head, a lot of engineered events. There's weird shit in Costa Coffee, like 2 times. Like, I think yesterday I went in and I put my coffee on the table, and I'd been in there before, the day before, and I generally have autism, so I do sit at the same spots, and you could pretty much, guarantee my set pattern. No, it's not hard. It's gonna repeat, and there's something to be said for that, because then I ain't got to think about anything other than some crazy stuff about going to the moon, or it completely frees my mind up. Anyway, so I go in the same coffee shop and then sat in the same spot in Costa, and there was no wobbly table. But then I've gone in like yesterday, put my coffee on the table, and just as I've done it, the whole table's gone down and coffee's gone everywhere. You've got the dog going mad, millions of things going on. And at the time I was like, oh, fuck it. You know, and I quickly got the mop and mopped it all up for him because I've done retail. I know what it's like. Leave that for someone. You just know what you do. So I quickly mopped it. But I went away and I just thought, well, hang on. It wasn't like that yesterday. And then I've gone in today and that table had moved. Right. And the table I usually sat at was occupied. So that was no issue. But it's almost as if it was predicted or like, you know, encouraged for me to sit. And it sounds fucking odd, but trust me, right? For it to happen twice, it just is so fucking odd. Luckily, I'm now aware of that potential. But it was the same table, 100%, because there was a mark on it. That's my autism coming out. It was the same table though. So I anticipated it, so I made sure I put it in the centre. But it just shows the level of pettiness or whatever's going on. And to draw conclusions or similarities between that and the police, it is nigh on impossible. But it is a similar sort of thing that I've had even when I was in Sussex. And a lot about the medical attention. Like the fact that my arm's still in this state. Yeah, there's lots of weird goings on. This isn't right at all. You can only really put it down to someone that would have like power or control. And bearing in mind like what I know about Cat and the local area and the affiliation to that Tideway school and the wider drug network. Yeah, it's really worrying because it's like, where does that stop? As I say, like, yeah, I don't want to drone on too much because, as I say, I don't want to. I don't know. It's a tough situation you find yourself in because really, I should talk to someone. But this is another fucked up thing. You know, when I do ever ring anyone, like it was always used. Like I was telling like quite personal things to, I don't know, medical professionals and whoever, and things that I was saying to them and only them were being repeated by people that were, I don't know, shouldn't know that. I know there's a certain amount of disclosure between institutions and things, but it's way beyond that. It's so overstepping the mark. I don't know. It's so tough, and without an outside perspective, it's hard to gauge. But as I say, I live this day in day out, and it's on repeat. It's on cycle. I mean, things have always been tough. So to me, it's not that bad. Although every time I say that, it seems to get worse. So actually, yeah, this is really shit. It can't get anywhere. I'm sure they're sitting there planning. I don't know why. Leave me alone, please. You know, I can't fucking understand it. Although you got to draw conclusions. I'm not fucking stupid. It's powers of deduction. I mean, why else would you just fucking keep on? It's got to be you're corrupt and you're holding down the dog issue and other stuff. There's stuff I can't really fucking mention, but it's a lot, as I say. And this again is one of my only forms of outlet, so it does make it hard. That's probably why I talk so much and say stuff I shouldn't. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone's alright. See you later. Bye.